I want to show some of the V-blocks I made. I keep this oil. There are lots of types of V-blocks. There's the set. These are rather on the small side. That's so, or on the small work, which work I will show. These little clumps of work. For milling or whatever. And there is this one I made, a movable set. I've done a video on it. It's on my website. A very handy little tool. It shows, it didn't show it being made, for I made it before I got the camera, but it describes it all in detail. There's that one. That was a base for to bolt it onto the work before I started to be able to move one of the jaws. I seen this made one time. I think it might have been bigger than this, but that's all the material I had at the time, so very handy tool. Now, here is a set of V-blocks. Now they are identical in size. Either way, the reason being, when I made these two, I made it out of one unit, one bar of steel, and cut it. Once I had the V's done, which made the V's a perfect match. Like so. When making V's, always make sure you do a centerpiece, which means if you're setting work on it, it will bed in properly. It'll not catch no dirt on the centre makes it a perfect base for sitting on. I have a little V on, and here I can clamp it to the table of a milling machine or scraper. Handy. And here is another little V block I made, which handy little tool also. V blocks are always handy to have. They can do lots of work with them. Now here is another little V block, but that is for a specific job, which is for boring bars. I made a couple of these. They're a nice seat for a boring bar. Like so. Quite a few different sets on V blocks, but this turned out to be a very handy tool. These two were also made out of the one block of steel, which gives me true seating, and they were all milled together, clamped together and milled at this, and these were milled before they were cut. I have done lots of work on all these as shown in my home video on this movable V blocks. It is good for milling keyways or whatever, movable jaw. It'll take up to 60, there'll be 65 mil shaft. Now these little V blocks, they're commercial ones. They are limited to the work that it'll take. You see, it wasn't tight, but these are limited to the work that it'll take. Like so. They're a handy little tool for small work. For doing small awkward jobs, they are very handy. Now, at least when I know I'm doing work on these two, that the work is level, parallel, where they were made out of the one block before they were cut. Bolt it down and it'll hold the work steady. This is a short piece, but I have worked with longer stuff. Bolt it onto the milling table. They're sitting level. I have also done a few little awkward jobs on this small V-block. Work that I couldn't get in on this one for some reason. The base, and it was clamped down. V-blocks of all sizes come in handy at some time. I have also done work on the V-blocks and this angle and this vise, milling slots, grooves, etc. Able to hold it steady. Slightly bigger, longer than the V-block, which held nice and firm, but the V-block's done the job 100%. Smaller work. This is just a demonstration, but there were different grooves done, different angles. Was able to set them up. So V-blocks come in very handy. Quite a few times, quite a few different jobs. So they're a very handy tool to make also. Very nice tool to make. Rather than purchase dear V-blocks, they can be made. If you're making a pair, use the one block of steel, cut them, mill them, and then cut them, and they will be level, equal. Either way, they were all done out of the one. I hope someone finds this interesting, and for more you could go to my website, which is Benny Marner. Thank you for watching.